The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Devontae Parker, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, an 80-yard touchdown, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, Delta.
On second down, it's Bell. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third and 2, Darnold. And he's got a noon one. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. Look at this, a tight end carry. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
They go play action here on first down. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
53, Mike 53. Watch the pass.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Check it out. Check the out. Hey, box drop. 53, check 53. Hey, tight down.
2nd and 5 now. Rosen, it's complete to Drake. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Balaj. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
180. Guys, hug. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Hey.
The play fake to Balaj. Now Rosen under a heavy rush, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. On second down now, it's Bell. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Back to throw, Darnold. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, 7.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rosen into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. He was looking for Parker that time.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage. It's caught inside the 25.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. This is Bell. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after's up and good, and that'll make our score 14-7. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Third and long here for Rosen. He finds Kalen Ballage as running back. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. On 2nd and 12, Darnold. Room here to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Toss play to Ballage. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kalen Ballage as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Balaj. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position. Now facing third down. They'll run here with Balaj. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. They'll go again with Bell. And an alley to run. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Faking the give, Darnold. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Check 52.
Again, it's Balaj. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Coming to you, coming to you. Let's go, let's go. Hey, quarter. Mike, number 53.
On third down, Rosen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Back now in Miami. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Jets on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. They'll run him with Bell. And an alley to run. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Darnold nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up third down. The Jets on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 14. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. On fourth down, Darnold. Found his target. It's Anderson. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Robbie Anderson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Avery Williamson there to make the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The throw over the middle taken in. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
Hey, Zoo. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch the back here. Watch the back here.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They'll run on first down. Bell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's a throw out wide to Anderson. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. A quick throw out wide, caught by Crowder. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On 2nd and a couple, Darnold. His throw incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Darnold from the gun. Eluding the pressure right. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Now Bell. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys are able to pull a bit closer. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step 1, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if they're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, they have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They run it with Balazs. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Darnold on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. One last throw now for Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Miami, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they're going the wrong way as